You're talking too much, Wendy. I do not want you to go to jail. And I'm begging you to stop talking. I'm begging you to stop interviewing. I'm begging you because I don't believe it's helping you. Take it from the Karen you used to like. How about that? Because when you talk, they watch. Okay, they hear you. And so I would have said, respectfully, Andy, I can't answer those questions right now.
The nature of who I am, I never like to be in one box. I like to do different things, whether that's professor, author, reality show, TV host of my own YouTube. It's just a juggling act, and I'm loving every second of it.
Girl, this was the one time Wendy should have listened to Karen Huger and put a pin in it, but she didn't. Now she's backed herself and Eddie into a corner, and it looks like she's doing everything to save herself, including now blaming her husband for the crimes she committed. And word is, she is already pushing for divorce as long as she gets to wash her hands off everything.
Well, detectives in Carroll County say reality star Wendy Osefo concocted a story so far from reality that she's now facing a string of felony fraud charges. At her home in Finksburg today, there was no sign of the housewife, but her neighborhood was buzzing with the news as police accused Wendy Osefo of being a fraud.
It's still crazy to think that just 8 months ago, Wendy was pretty loved as a housewife with her quick clapbacks. And now she and her husband, Eddie Osefo, have to walk on eggshells after they got caught committing insurance fraud. What really broke the internet wasn't the fraudulent $450,000 insurance frame, the poorly planned break-in, or that Wendy was clumsy enough to wear the same ring on the red carpet that she had reported missing from the burglary. It was the fact that the police found 67 credit cards stuffed into 4 luxury wallets. I mean, that is an insane amount of credit cards to just have lying around. And it's even crazier that the police discovered little money in it. In fact, the Osefos barely had any money at all. In the words of the prosecution, the Osefos had already run out of money and were at the end of the rope around April 2024. Wendy had quit her job and mainly relied on her income from Real Housewives. That, plus this lifestyle of wealth and professional accomplishment that they were trying to present, ran their pockets dry.
The win for her would be to obviously be exonerated, but the evidence speaks for itself.
Right.
And so when the evidence speaks for itself, you need to do what's in the best interest of your family and your children. And I'm not anywhere associated with that case, so I can't speak to what her attorney is advising her of.
Right.
But at the end of the day, she's a mom. And so I want the best for her and her kids.
But despite all that, Wendy attended BravoCon and tried to play it off as the police coming after an innocent black couple and everything was going to be clear in the end.
It's an unfortunate situation. And right now I can't say too much, but I will say when the time is right, I will share my story with everyone. And for now, they're just allegations, so we will continue to push forward. Okay. I know that's right.
However, when it was announced that Wendy would still be a full-time housewife on season 11 of Real Housewives of Potomac, it felt like Wendy was walking into a hurricane with heels on. Think about it for a minute. If you were facing up to 15 years in jail for fraud, would you keep broadcasting your life on reality TV for the whole world to see and dissect? Don't get me wrong, Wendy is a seasoned housewife and has probably thought about how she'll manage their image. But this isn't a situation that she can perfectly control. Insiders mention that Wendy's case is going to be one of the main plots for the season, and Monique basically decided to also make Wendy a part of her storyline, since she realized going after Stacey Rush didn't go well for her. Karen also warned her that the cameras weren't going to play nice, and it's better for Wendy to keep quiet. However, Wendy is the one wife who desperately needs that Bravo check, because attorney's fees ain't cheap. And with the way she skated around questions during the reunion, some fans believe that she just had to give enough and she'd do just fine.
It was reported that you have 67 credit cards under your name with multiple aliases. Pam Oliver, Eddie Hennessy.
My legal counsel responded to that in court and corrected that narrative. Those aliases were only used for package and deliveries. There are no aliases in which were used for any financial institution, and that narrative was corrected.
It was also reported that prosecutors claim you have very little money and are in substantial debt.
No, I mean, that's I respect the legal system. If that is their opinion, then that is their opinion.
But ever since the new season started filming, Wendy has shown that her being on TV wasn't one of her brightest ideas, even with the 4 degrees. She's been trying to move through the season carefully because her castmates want some answers. And you know the producers are waiting for her to slip. And she did slip up. She was reportedly trying to defend the burglary as a real thing, only to be called out on it by Giselle. And once her script got sidetracked, Wendy spiraled. She started trying to defend herself and took every opportunity she could to make it known that it was really her husband that spearheaded the whole thing. She's been trying to paint the picture of an ignorant housewife and has reportedly claimed that Eddie was completely in charge of their finances and businesses, especially after she stopped actively working as a professor. So she had no idea how bad things were until the police came knocking on their door. And it is being reported that she is now going to divorce her husband Eddie, to show the world that she was innocent in all of it. However, the internet isn't about to let Wendy play that card. Remember, Teresa Guidice tried to say that she's a simple housewife, but they still held her accountable. Meanwhile, Wendy has propped up her academic and professional qualifications to the point that it's hard for her to act like she didn't know what was going on. And fans are letting Wendy know exactly what they think about the situation. Either she's jumping ship, or they have an understanding on him taking the full blame, especially because someone has to stay with the kids. I don't believe for 1 second that Eddie did all that by himself. It was Wendy that wanted that luxury life, and he probably felt forced to keep the money coming in. Why did Wendy quit her real job? It makes no sense. They filmed 3 months out of the year. She could have worked as a professor for 6 months and made additional money. I don't understand why these people quit good-paying jobs. Do you guys think there's a chance for Eddie to take the fall on this? Or is Wendy going to have to face the music and some jail time? Share your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe. Bye, baddies!